Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Keeping Sanity podcast. It is the third episode, and today, actually, I'm quite excited about our topic. Obviously, I came up with it. Since we're all quarantined right now, I think quite a big topic that has been covered by many people already is the pressure that we face that comes from social media mainly, and that means we're all kind of pressured to feel productive all the time, and basically that's not the reality, and we all know that, and all the people who try and seem that they're productive 24/7, they're actually not. That's the objective truth about that. And today I want to cover the topic of rules versus intuition, and a little bit of background story right here. So ever since I got into the IB, which is the International Baccalaureate, who doesn't know, and it's quite a demanding high school program, it's a 2-year course. And since I moved to a different country where I'm doing it, it was quite difficult and quite challenging, and I decided that I had to make up some rules to live by, so that it's just easier for me to get over some struggles, even though at the moment it didn't feel like it was too difficult. Mentally, emotionally, physically, etc., and intellectually also. But I think I stumbled upon this quote a bit too many times, and this quote is, "It is not hard to make decisions if you know what your values are." And I really took this all the way, and I think the word values was, I basically defined it many ways for myself. So I took the meaning of values, and then I added principles, and then I added routines, and then I added rules, and all of that compiled in quite a big snowball, which, basically I was trying to fit my life into a certain framework and to have rules for everything, so that it all is in a certain framework. This, I think, comes a lot from my perfectionism, which I've always had, and as the more I've been growing, and oh my god, like I literally forgot English. As my life progressed, I've been really valuing the moments where I'm not striving to be perfect. And to give an example, even with this podcast, I understand that this is not the top quality of everything, like sound, topics, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that at this stage, quantity is actually more important than quality, which is kind of counterintuitive. But that's the reality. The more you practice, the better you get. And at this point, it's very important for me to just do it and not doubt it. And then it's just gonna settle down, and I'm gonna figure out how to make it better. Getting back to the topic of rules, I was really obsessed with it, to be honest. And especially this, I don't know, actually I don't want to self-diagnose, but I'm pretty sure I have had some like OCD inclines, or whatever you call it. I was prone to obsessing over things, and like you should have seen my room. It's like you can literally put a ruler near to all the stuff, and it's going to be aligned centimeter by centimeter all my stuff was always it was there was never a mess in my room. It was always perfectly clean and tidy, and yeah, that's clearly an obsession. But I just I thought it was the best way to live, and that was the only right way to live. And also, this hype about morning routines was really, yeah, it was really there. And people kept saying that the way you start your morning is the way your day is gonna go. And I really tried to improve my morning routines. It was a constant circle of trying to do everything according to a certain plan. And also, one more example in regards to food, I was trying to eat as clean as possible, and really, food is a different topic. I've been struggling with this for more than a year now. Um, Hopefully, I'm already recovering, but yeah, this obsession with eating healthy food has just been too much. And even talking about the 80-20 rule, this is basically when you are allowed to eat 80% of healthy foods, quote unquote healthy foods, and 20% of junk food, or like somewhere around that ratio. And I knew that we should not think in absolutes when it comes to anything, but I was trying to eat my every single meal. I wanted it to be perfect, and because I wanted it to be perfect so much, I often deprived myself of things I actually wanted to eat, like have a piece of cake once in a while. And then it all came back as a boomerang, but with a much higher force. And then I would punish myself for not eating healthy, and I would punish myself by eating unhealthy, and that was a mess. Please don't do that, guys and girls. So yeah, also vegetarianism was a big thing. Actually, after 5 years of being vegetarian, I stopped because I think it wasn't it was really bad for my mental health, which might sound weird, but I identified with the idea of vegetarianism, and for some time even veganism, for such a long time. And I considered myself a part of the vegetarian community, and it was really something that was inseparable from me, that I understood that the only thing to get rid of this stigma, one might say, is to just stop being vegetarian. Might return to it later, but right now it's the best for my mental health. And also with studying, well, it wasn't as evident as it's right now, but even with studying, I was always trying to, just be the best. And I was always considered quite like one of the smartest kids in class, and I was really trying to be perfect and live up to the expectations. And yeah, all of this comes down to perfection and rules and routines that I was trying to set up for myself. And what I think here right now is, of course, having some principles and values is quite important, but extremes are never healthy. And ever since the quarantine started, I think it's like the third month right now. So I've obviously had much more time to be mindful, and since I do not have to go out in public, I actually mustn't go out in public, I have much more time to myself, and actually no need to look or feel or whatever good to other people. I just have my space and I can do whatever. And yeah, I just realized that our lives do not go in a linear fashion. There are always ups and downs, and it's not, one day is never the same as the other. And what I found really helpful to aid me in definition of what I want to do in a given day is I literally just try and feel what I want to do. So for example, take intuitive eating. It was really hard to admit that I can actually eat whatever my body wants. And I decided to try it out since I have time. And you'll also have time, because if not now, then when? And I've really been trying to listen to my body, and before every meal, like I used to plan out meals and think, okay, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna eat that, but right now, I'm really, before I have lunch, before it's lunchtime, actually, I ask myself, first of all, whether I'm hungry. If I'm not, I don't eat. If I am, I ask myself what I want. And this comes down to things as specific as you want them to be. So, for example, sometimes I'm just craving peanut butter. So I go and eat peanut butter, and up until my body's satisfied, because if it's not, I'm going to try and substitute the peanut butter with some healthy cucumbers or other vegetables that seem like a quote-unquote a healthier option. I'm still going to be craving that peanut butter and probably going to eat it after I finish that vegetable. So it's really, your body, it knows what's best for you, and there's no way to trick it, basically. It's just, the rules of nature. It's always, your body's always gonna know better, and it's gonna do what it has to do, it needs to do. And you really don't have much power over how it works. You can only listen to it and do the best you can to satisfy its needs. And not only regarding food, but in terms of studying, it's exam season in 1 week. I mean, it's exam season right now, but the exam week starts in about 5 or 7 days. And obviously my schedule is very, very busy right now. And I've voluntarily been filling it up with even more activities. For example, I literally start filming YouTube videos, this podcast, learning Georgian, what else? A digital marketing course, so much stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited to do all of that, so I'm fine with it. And in the beginning, even though I have quite a strict schedule of what I have to do every day to meet all of my deadlines, still every day I just, every time I start doing my homework, first of all, I ask myself, what is something that I'm feeling like I want to do right now. So for example, today in the morning, I just really felt like doing some Italian, and I just did it. And I felt complete, and actually the exercises were quite challenging, but I still managed to do them, and it really felt like it's perfect. It was meant to happen, and I did it, and I was productive, and it was all amazing. So even though there are some things that you just have to make yourself do, and there's not really any way of just kind of not doing it, you just gotta make yourself. But if you have such a choice, just ask yourself, what are you willing to do at that moment, and just get to the core of it. And Actually, something to update you on this whole intuition thing. I have quite a concern about my current habits because, for example, I've established two practices that I've been really, really enjoying. The first one is doing morning yoga, and the second one is drinking a cup of iced latte every morning. And okay, the first one is undoubtedly very good, and the second one might not be as amazing, but still, coffee is cool and is good for your health, not in big amounts. So it's all fine. Assume both of these activities are good, healthy, blah blah. So I'm still quite concerned that I might just get really attached to these beliefs and put myself in the strict framework once again and blame myself for skipping a day of coffee or skipping a day of yoga. So I'm still working on that, but I'm just trying to explain on my example how your mindset can change from one opposite to another, and it's completely fine. But remember that it really is going to take time, and if you're trying to change yourself for the better, be more mindful, open-minded, it is always going to be a long journey. It's always going to take time, and time, I mean, like from I think half a year at minimum, and maybe even a year and more. So never expect it to be an overnight or something to happen in 1 month. So I really want to finish this off with saying that there is no one correct way to live life. And actually, as one character, I just remembered one character in the movie Handsome Devil. I think it was like the English literature teacher, and he said, if you're gonna live life like somebody else does, who is going to live your own life? And yeah, that is maybe not the most relevant quote right here, but still quite a nice one to think about from time to time. And also, I've recently learned about an Indian yogi and spiritual leader who's called Sadhguru. And what he said on Thomas Bilio's interview, which I'm going to link down below, is that belonging, believing, and identifying are basically ways to sleep through your life. And sleeping through your life basically means that you're partially dead. So what he meant by this is that when we indulge into believing certain things and identify with some stuff so strongly and label ourselves and do all that, we're just really limiting our scope of imagination and knowledge. And this really can be applied to the thing that we all say, that we're all like open-minded, blah blah blah, but really I think it's quite a deep topic to think about, because how can one be open-minded if one has certain strong beliefs? I mean, maybe they might accept those beliefs, but still, accept beliefs of others, but still, I just really realized how identifying yourself with something is always a way to limit yourself. So I'm going to try and eliminate that from my practices. So to sum this all up, even though this episode was a bit more unedited, raw, and rambly than the first two ones. Yeah, the first two ones. It was... Wait, is it the fourth episode or the third one? the third one. Okay. It was a bit more rambly. I honestly just missed talking to my friends about stuff like this, so might actually hit up my friends I need sometime soon, but for now I'm gonna leave you on this note. I'm also gonna remind you that I'm gonna link all the things I mentioned down below, and also gonna link a website where you can find me on all the other social media and everywhere I am. And also there's our YouTube channel that we've created with my friends, and we talk there about the IB and the school we go to. So check that out for sure. And yeah, see you later.